Welcome. And I can tell right now, some of you are mad. That's right, you are very upset. You just learned one of the first lessons about marketing and business, particularly in the digital media age. You saw the title. Donald Trump is smarter than you. And then 7 things you need to know about business from Donald Trump, or your business will die. Right smack dab, you are engaged. Some of you are glad. You like Donald Trump. You think that's wonderful. Some of you are sad. You're kind of disappointed. Well, why are you talking about? And of course, those of you who don't like him, you're quite mad. Some of you are confused. What does that mean? And some of you are, you're curious. You're just, what can that mean? Now, you see, I had to bring you in to the conversation. And I actually knew that I had to catch you, hook you, because you're doing something else. And now I got your attention. And I also know that right now, for a lot of you, I have upped the emotion. I've pushed the emotion level up. It's not just information that you're getting now. It is something that you're kind of engaged to, you're into. Some of you are going to watch this class because you really want to fight back. But the point is, we are now, okay, as I say, good work, good business, good marketing is always, it is something that needs energy, and that needs emotion, and it needs engagement. It's not just information. Information changes nothing. It doesn't. And you are now involved in an experience, not just a course, not just a class. It's an online training program, an online teaching program that we call What It Takes, and it is a teach about. And exactly, it is in the next 20 minutes, just 20 minutes, no more than that, I'm going to tell you that Donald Trump is smarter than you, and there are 7 things that you can learn from him about business that will be very, very helpful. In fact, they might even be vital for you. I'm Stan. Just call me Stan. My name is Stan Houston, and I'm a longtime business performance coach, international broadcaster, online teacher, and I've worked around the world. And what I think I do quite well is take a time, and as we do in our 20-minute teach-abouts, one topic that will be helpful and useful and practical to you so that you can learn something that will help you build your business, build your career, make your mark, have greater relationships, increase your influence, impact, and your income, and maybe even enjoy life more and be more fully alive. That's the goal. Now, with that in mind, let's continue by just going back to that topic. Again, as I said, some of you are kind of unhappy about this. Now, this is not to push Donald Trump or to push him away. Donald Trump has been very successful in his business. That's kind of a fact. He also was able to get elected as President of the United States. Whether you like it or not, whether you hate him or love him, that's kind of a fact. Now, one of my mentors of many years ago told me this, and I try to do it. It's really hard. He said, Stan, do what I did. As a young person, I decided that everything that came into my life, I would try to find how it could be useful. Something sad, something tragic, something difficult, something I didn't like, people. And I've had all kinds of those experiences. I have. We all do as humans. Is there something that you can, no matter, even in the worst of things, be useful to you, helpful to you? And even the people. I mean, I'm thinking of a person who hurt me profoundly. But can I back off from that and get a little less emotionally engaged and Can I find something useful in that connection? That's what I want you to understand is vital. That your emotional engagement is important. Your engagement to what is going on, the energy that you sense, your response. You're into it now. You aren't just casually sitting there wondering, I wonder what this is going to be about. Now, I'm going to go through this quite quickly. And again, just let these things sit on your head. As we oftentimes say, it's for your thought. It's for your consideration. And then you'll have to decide if it is for your adoption and something you bring into your life. 7 lessons you can learn from the Trump. How did this happen is number 1. All the experts said it would never happen. He couldn't make it happen. He would never be nominated. He would never be president. I remember on the very night before the election, one great expert got on and he said, the chances are 1 out of 100 that he will win the election. Don't trust experts. I mean that. Because people call themselves experts does not mean they know what they're doing. Trump said oftentimes that he trusts himself more than he trusts the experts. And many people say, oh, that's stupid. Maybe not. I and many people have had great help from experts and great consultants. But you know what? Don't trust them too much. Check them out. There are hundreds, thousands, perhaps millions of consultants, teachers, gurus, even people like me who call themselves experts. And you know what? We're not nearly as smart as we pretend or as you might think we are. Be careful, just as Trump is careful, of trusting the experts. Good lesson for life that we get from the entire phenomenon. All right? Second lesson, you have to brand yourself. Oftentimes, people waste a lot of time talking about what they should name their company, and sometimes I simply said, just give it your name. Think of the great companies in the world. We put a face or a brand with them. The person is the brand. I say Microsoft and you think of Bill Gates. I think Apple and you think of Steve Jobs. Oftentimes, the way a company is going to survive is that people can give it a face and a name and a brand. It's the Trump company. Donald Trump is the brand. Everything about him is the brand. And if you're going to be successful in the world today, you're going to have to give your company not necessarily a product perspective, because the product is going to change. Donald Trump got into the real estate business, which got him into the hospitality business, which got him into the tie business, which got him into all kinds of things. Because he's an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur says, I take my brand, my personal energy, and I go out there and I try all kinds of things to see what will work. One of my friends is a very successful entrepreneur, and this is what he says. And we'll come back to this in the following thing. He said, I have started many companies. Most of them failed. However, 3 or 4 of them have done extremely well, and I'm very, very fortunate. Okay, number 1. Remember, watch out for the experts. Number 2, you have to have your personal brand. Number 3, make signature statements, signature style, signature stuff. Donald Trump has a signature statement. You're fired. That made him famous. He has signature styles, the way he dresses, the Trump tie. I was going to put on my Trump tie, but I thought that might be just a little bit too much. But do you see that what is vital? And I mean, I use this, part of my shaved head is my signature style. Many of you may have seen some of the pictures of me, like the one that began this particular show. Kind of, my glasses in my I'm known for the pens that I make. I have a line, life is too short to go through it, writing with an ugly pen. Oftentimes people will hear me say, just let that sit on your head for a while. I use the old Twilight Zone from that famous film series of the 50s for your thought and consideration. Fear kills everything. Right now, the ones who are going to be successful in a media-savvy world, think about how you can have signature statements, signature style, a signature stage. Okay? What it takes is my stage. What is your signature statements, styles, ways that people can identify you and show and be shown that you are different? Are you going to work on that? You're going to have that. Remember, you have to be different from everybody else out there. If you're all alike, if you're all the same, there's a very, very good chance that you will not survive. Please keep in mind, if particularly you're starting your own company, you've got a 1 in 5 chance of being successful. You need every break you can get. Number 4, right in the middle. In today's world, you have to learn how to use the media. Let me tell you this. All of the people who competed against Trump for the presidency, none of them had anywhere near the savvy that he had, because he has had years of experience using the media. Now, you may not like that. That may tick you off. You say that's unfair. That's not right. In today's world, I've often said this. In college, they used to teach us that we had to learn how to write. Then, I was even part of this. We got to teach them how to do public speaking. Today, if you do not have an education in how to be a radio, television, performer, broadcaster, if you don't have a clue of how to use the mass modern media, you better get some training, some teaching, some coaching, because you have to understand how to use the modern media today. And I made that number 4, even though it could be number 1, but making it number 4 put it right in the middle of the 7. Okay? Let's go. Donald Trump had a TV show called The Apprentice. And it was rather a powerful reality show in which what he said is he took these very, very capable people and he did not interview them. I oftentimes tell people today, don't ever interview for a job and don't ever interview a job candidate. Interviews are for losers. Today, you audition. As I oftentimes say, many years ago, there was a rather plain, simple, some would say homely, but that was not fair, girl from Brooklyn who wanted to be a singer. And she lacked most of the qualities except that somebody allowed her to sit on a stage and say, okay, you think you're a singer, you say you're a singer, sing, girl. And Barbra Streisand started to sing. She auditioned. Every creative artist auditions. You have to audition. In fact, right now, I'm telling people who want to be a part of my business, no, I don't want to see your resume. Throw away your resume. I couldn't care less about your resume. Your resume was about something you did in the past. Show me what you can do now and how you can help me in the future. And the first thing I do is I want you to do a 3-minute video describing and telling your story and how you can help my business. That's all I want. And what happened is these men and women came into his place and they were given projects. They had to do things. And then he evaluated who did the best job and who didn't. They were apprentices. Now, back in the olden days, that was the way we did business. We didn't go for our Masters of Business Administration. We didn't go to business school. We found somebody in a business situation, in a company who we could be an apprentice to. We'd learn from them. We'd demonstrate them. They would then recommend us to others, perhaps help us find other positions. Trump put it right back on the table. The way you make it today is you apprentice. And that's the people who didn't get fired got a job. And many of them are still connected to the company because they won out in the apprenticeship. That's very important. Write a book. As I oftentimes say to people, today your book will be your business card and your video will be your brochure. Show people how good you are. It's been said that 87% of the people say they'd like to write a book, and of course, hardly anybody ever does. Donald Trump wrote the book that I oftentimes said everybody should read if they want to understand him, called The Art of the Deal. And he was in his 30s when he wrote the book, and it gave him a name. It turned out to be a fairly significant bestseller. He went on to write a number of other books. And actually, if you want to understand Donald Trump, read his books. He believes everything's a deal. He loves deals. He loves big deals. And he knows that you want to win the deal. That doesn't mean everyone loses, but you got to win. In effect, if you want to be successful today, there's a Kindle, there's ebooks, you can do small audio books. Today, if you want to build your career or build your business, become a writer and author, and literally, you must have a book in your portfolio or your resume. By the way, it's a good starter. People say, how's life? How's business? You say, I'm writing a book. Right there, you've got a conversation. You're writing a book. Here it goes. Number 7, Donald Trump has been successful, but he also has come close many times to being a total failure. Guess what? That's true of all successful people. All successful people, particularly in the creative work, in the arts, in business, they risked a lot. You're going to have to learn the art of risk taking and how to do that intelligently, how to do it in a way that gives you the best chance of success. You're going to have to learn how to recover after you fail, because you will fail. But you have to learn the art of taking a risk. I hope you wrote these down. If you didn't, then do what smart people do. Go through and do this again. Watch this 3 to 7 times. It's only 20 minutes. That's all it took. And now you know that perhaps you have some things to learn. And that Donald Trump was pretty smart. And there's 7 things you can learn about life and business that will help you perform at your very best and make your mark in the world. I'm Stan Houston for What It Takes, wishing you in this Teach About all the best, and I hope you'll come about and back again.